A man tried to kill you. All you did was try and protect yourself. But wait a minute.
Amanda Blake etched her name in television history with her portrayal of the fiery red-haired saloon owner, Miss Kitty Russell, in the iconic Western series, Gunsmoke. However, Blake's life ended with a tragic demise that left many perplexed, and something still was not disclosed. Are you curious about it? If yes, this video is for you. All the truth about her death will be revealed right now in this video, so don't miss it. Perhaps audiences could still see her on the silver screen much longer if Amanda Blake knew how to protect herself. With Miss Kitty Russell, her performance resonated deeply with audiences, solidifying her status as a television legend. Despite her on-screen success, Amanda Blake encountered numerous obstacles in her personal life, particularly concerning her health. A habitual 2-pack-a-day smoker, Blake grappled with the dire consequences of her addiction. In 1977, she underwent surgery for oral cancer, a pivotal moment that thrust her into a battle for her life. Following her harrowing ordeal, Amanda Blake emerged as a staunch advocate for cancer awareness and prevention. Deeply moved by her own experiences, she dedicated herself to the cause, aligning with organizations such as the American Cancer Society. Blake's unwavering commitment to raising awareness saw her make national appearances, using her platform to educate and inspire others. On August 16, 1989, the world mourned the loss of Amanda Blake as she peacefully departed at Mercy General Hospital in Sacramento. Initially, reports from the hospital and statements from her close friends pointed to throat cancer as the cause of her passing. Yet, as time passed, a haze of uncertainty surrounded Blake's departure, prompting questions about the true circumstances of her demise. Despite widespread speculation surrounding Amanda Blake's death, the truth remained elusive for years. Many were puzzled by discrepancies in the accounts provided by her acquaintances and medical professionals. However, recent revelations have shed light on the matter, dispelling misconceptions and unveiling the reality behind Blake's untimely end. So what really happened to Amanda Blake? Months after her death, the Associated Press confirmed that Amanda Blake had indeed battled throat cancer, but startling revelations emerged regarding the true cause of her demise. Sacramento internist Dr. Lou Nishimura disclosed that while throat cancer was a part of Blake's health struggles, it wasn't the primary factor in her death. Instead, complications arising from acquired immune deficiency syndrome (AIDS) played a pivotal role in her untimely passing. Dr. Nishimura, who had been closely involved in Blake's medical care for a year preceding her death, provided insights into the circumstances surrounding her demise. He elucidated that Amanda Blake succumbed to complications stemming from liver failure and CMV hepatitis, leading to cardiopulmonary arrest. Notably, CMV hepatitis, a manifestation of cytomegalovirus infection, is intrinsically linked to AIDS. Her death certificate, signed by Dr. Nishimura, underscored the multifaceted nature of her medical conditions. While liver failure and CMV hepatitis were cited as immediate causes of death, AIDS and cancer were listed as contributing factors that led to her demise. The revelation that Amanda Blake had contracted the AIDS virus raised questions about the source of the infection. Dr. Lou Nishimura admitted to being unaware of how Blake had acquired the virus, leaving her transmission route shrouded in mystery. However, subsequent investigations pointed towards her fifth husband, Mark Spaeth, as a potential source. Spaeth, who passed away from pneumonia in 1985 at the age of 45, was believed to have been HIV positive, leading to speculations regarding Blake's infection. Jerry Ewan, a spokesperson for Mercy General Hospital, disclosed that she had listed cancer as Blake's cause of death, as per the request of the actor's friends. The decision to omit the official cause of death from her friend's public statement remains unclear, prompting speculation and conjecture. However, the human immunodeficiency virus HIV, which causes AIDS, has had a stigma attached to it due to negative beliefs about people with the virus. Despite her departure amidst suffering, Amanda Blake's enduring impact on the hearts of her audience remains undeniable. Yet there is still much to uncover about her iconic portrayal of Miss Kitty. If you're eager to reminisce about the beloved red-haired Miss Kitty from the iconic film Gunsmoke, then keep watching. Don't forget to show your support for Amanda Blake's unforgettable performance by liking and subscribing to the channel. Now, let's dive back into the story about Amanda's early career. Amanda Blake entered the world on February 20, 1929, in Buffalo, New York, into a family deeply entrenched in the world of acting. Born to Jesse Neal, a director and manager of the esteemed Buffalo Players Theater Company, Blake's upbringing was steeped in the art of performance. At the tender age of 11, Amanda Blake took her first steps onto the stage, marking her debut in production of Romeo and Juliet. This early foray into acting ignited a fervent passion within her, setting the stage for a remarkable career to come. Continuing her journey in pursuit of her dreams, Amanda Blake ventured to Pomona College in California, where she further honed her craft and refined her acting prowess. Before her illustrious television career, Amanda Blake flourished on the stage, gracing numerous productions with her talent. From captivating performances in plays like Jane Eyre to showcasing her versatility in The Women, Blake's theatrical endeavors laid the foundation for her eventual rise to prominence in the world of entertainment. But before her ascent to stardom, Amanda Blake began her professional journey as a telephone operator. Despite this job provided her with a modest income, it served as a platform to refine her diction skills. It was during this time that she delved into radio work and delivered dramatic readings at local women's clubs, laying the groundwork for her future endeavors in the entertainment industry. While attending Pomona College, Blake's talents go unnoticed. Her stint as a telephone operator and her involvement in radio work led to opportunities in dramatic readings, further showcasing her burgeoning acting abilities. But God does not disappoint talented people. It wasn't long before Amanda Blake's potential caught the eye of MGM Studios, who saw in her the makings of a star. Signed as a Greer Garson replacement, Blake embarked on her cinematic journey with a few film roles under her belt before landing the iconic role of Miss Kitty. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer envisioned Amanda Blake as the heir to the legacy of Greer Garson, a revered figure in Hollywood known for her remarkable talent and string of Oscar nominations. Blake's screen debut in the 1950 MGM picture Stars in My Crown marked the beginning of her cinematic journey, followed by notable appearances in films such as Cattletown and A Star is Born in 1954. She assumed the titular role in Miss Robin Crusoe. However, it was her portrayal of Miss Kitty on the enduring Western series Gunsmoke that truly cemented Amanda Blake's legacy in the annals of television history. As the indomitable saloon owner Miss Kitty Russell, Blake brought a unique blend of strength and warmth to the character, captivating audiences throughout the show's remarkable 19-season run from 1955 to 1974. Miss Kitty Russell swiftly emerged as one of the most beloved characters on television, resonating deeply with viewers who were drawn to her unwavering resolve and compassionate nature. The dynamic between Miss Kitty and the Marshal hinted at a deeper connection, sparking intrigue and speculation among fans. Despite the subtle hints of romantic feelings between the two, the show delicately navigated their relationship, never venturing beyond the bounds of friendship on-screen. But there is an interesting truth behind Amanda Blake's lifelong role. You know, that classic TV series that ran for a whopping 2 decades, making stars out of its lesser-known cast members? But did you know that Amanda Blake, who portrayed Miss Kitty, almost wasn't the one to grace our screens? Picture this James Arness striding down Front Street, ready to clean up the town. But instead of locking eyes with Amanda Blake's Miss Kitty, he could have been sharing the screen with someone entirely different. Enter Polly Bond, a name you might not be familiar with but who came tantalizingly close to snagging the role of Miss Kitty. Now, Polly Bond's story is a curious one indeed. Unlike Amanda Blake, whose name became synonymous with Miss Kitty, Polly's brush with fame was fleeting. In fact, you could count her on-screen appearances on one hand. She popped up as an unnamed extra in the 1946 Western Abilene town, and had a blink and you'll miss it moment in the 1951 film Varieties on Parade. So, what led Polly to turn down the opportunity of a lifetime? Believe it or not, Polly Bond's decision to decline the role of Miss Kitty wasn't because she lacked talent or ambition. No, it was something far more unexpected. She was offered too much money. Wrap your head around that for a second. In a world where landing a big role often means striking gold, Polly's reason might seem downright baffling. But here's where things get interesting. Back in those days, societal norms played a huge role in shaping people's decisions, especially in the glitzy world of Hollywood. You see, Polly was married to Tommy Bond, who you might remember as Butch from The Little Rascals. Now, Tommy was no slouch in the acting department, but his paycheck paled in comparison to what Polly was being offered for the role of Miss Kitty. For Polly, the idea of out-earning her husband was simply too much to bear. In an era where traditional gender roles were firmly entrenched, the thought of being the breadwinner while Tommy took a backseat was enough to give her pause. And so, despite the allure of fame and fortune, Polly made the tough call to walk away from the role that could have catapulted her to stardom. Of course, we all know how the story ends. Amanda Blake stepped into the iconic role of Miss Kitty Russell and made it her own, captivating audiences for 2 glorious decades. Gunsmoke became a TV powerhouse, churning out episodes and turning its cast members into household names. But amidst the glitz and glamour, spare a thought for Polly Bond, the actress who could have been Miss Kitty, but chose a different path. Besides, one of Amanda Blake's most memorable contributions to Gunsmoke was her character's iconic catchphrase, "Howdy, cowboy." This simple yet impactful phrase became synonymous with Miss Kitty Russell, the strong-willed saloon owner portrayed by Blake, and further solidified her status as a television icon. That's not all. In a quirky turn of events during the final season of Gunsmoke in 1974, Amanda Blake, the series star, made headlines when she brought her pet lion, Camo, to the set. Despite the sensationalized headlines, Camo was merely a wee cub, and the upset caused by his presence was more of a cuddle party and adorable noise disturbance. Amanda Blake, then in her 19th season portraying the iconic Miss Kitty, resided on a sprawling property in the Arcadia area of the Phoenix metro area with her husband at the time, Arizona businessman Frank Gilbert. On this particular occasion, they decided to bring Camo along for the commute to the Gunsmoke set. Upon Camo's arrival on set, chaos ensued as the production crew scrambled in panic at the sight of the playful cub. Despite Blake's assurances of Camo's harmless nature, fear gripped the set until they witnessed the cub's endearing playfulness. As Amanda Blake strolled onto the set of the Long Branch Saloon with Chemo on a leash, the cub seized the opportunity to showcase his charisma by hopping atop the bar, much to Blake's delight. Despite the initial chaos, Chemo's adorable antics quickly won over the hearts of those present. However, the production soon faced a dilemma when filming commenced. Whenever James Arness, portraying Marshal Matt Dillon, delivered his lines, Chemo would respond with roars and mewls, disrupting the shoot. Consequently, the production crew had no choice but to banish Chemo from the set, bringing an end to the lion's brief foray into the world of television. Blake and her beloved lion, Chemo, continued to capture headlines, but this wasn't their only brush with fame. As an ardent animal lover, Blake had a deep affinity for exotic felines, making her mark as one of the pioneering individuals to successfully breed cheetahs in captivity. The Blake Gilbert estate, spanning 4 acres, served as a sanctuary for these majestic creatures, providing ample space for them to roam and thrive. Among her menagerie were leopards, smaller leopard cats, and a pride of cheetahs, including adorable cubs. By 1975, Blake's collection had expanded, with Chemo, now a hefty 400-pound specimen, joined by a leopard and numerous other feline companions. However, Chemo's days of perching atop the Long Branch bar were a thing of the past, replaced by the tranquil life on the sprawling estate. Despite accusations of illegal possession of exotic animals from disgruntled neighbors, Blake swiftly quashed any doubts by presenting valid permits obtained from the Arizona Fish and Game Commission. To ensure the well-being of her beloved creatures, Blake and Gilbert went a step further, hiring caretakers to reside on the property and provide round-the-clock care for their furry charges. In a candid interview with People magazine, Blake clarified that her intentions extended beyond mere pet ownership. Rather, her goal was to preserve the genetic integrity of these magnificent animals, keeping them as close to their natural origins as possible. Indeed, Amanda Blake's affinity for and dedication to these exotic felines exemplified her nurturing spirit, earning her the endearing moniker of Miss Kitty, both on and off the screen. Although Amanda Blake portrayed a character named Kitty on screen, her true passion lay in a different kind of feline. Few were aware that the actress led a successful career as an animal breeder, particularly specializing in cheetahs. Following the conclusion of Gunsmoke in the 1970s, Blake made a conscious decision to dedicate more time to advocating for animal welfare. This marked the beginning of her journey into the world of innovative cat breeding. In her retirement years, Blake resided in Phoenix, Arizona, where she maintained a wild animal compound on her property. Here, amidst the tranquil surroundings, she cared for a menagerie of large cats, including her beloved lion, Chemo. Alongside her second husband, Frank Gilbert, Blake utilized the compound as a breeding ground for cheetahs, pioneering advancements in captive breeding techniques. Cheetah breeding had long posed a daunting challenge, with captive specimens being exceedingly rare due to difficulties in reproduction. Historically, all cheetahs in captivity were captured from the wild and dispersed to zoos worldwide. The elusive nature of cheetah reproduction, characterized by females' subtle signs of readiness, and the necessity of mating with multiple males, further compounded the challenge. However, in a remarkable breakthrough during the 1970s, Amanda Blake emerged as a pioneer in cheetah breeding, becoming only the second person worldwide to achieve success in this endeavor. Her groundbreaking efforts revolutionized captive breeding practices, offering hope for the conservation of this endangered species. Over the years, Blake dedicated herself to nurturing and propagating cheetah populations at her Arizona home, where she meticulously bred 7 generations of these magnificent creatures. Her tireless dedication and unwavering passion for wildlife preservation yielded an incredible accomplishment for the threatened cheetah species. In a candid interview with the New York Times in 1975, Blake expressed her profound affection for the cheetahs under her care, describing them as cute, frisky, and lovely, their playful antics bringing joy and wonder to her life. In recognition of her invaluable contributions to wildlife conservation, the Amanda Blake Memorial Wildlife Refuge was established in California in 1997. This sanctuary serves as a testament to Blake's enduring legacy, providing a haven for African hoofed wildlife in honor of her tireless advocacy and dedication to the preservation of wild animals. Dodge City may have been wild for Kitty Russell, but it's nothing compared to the wild world of Amanda Blake. Another significant factor contributing to the enduring success of Gunsmoke was the undeniable chemistry between Amanda Blake and James Arness, who portrayed Marshal Matt Dillon. Their on-screen rapport lent depth and authenticity to the series, captivating audiences and solidifying their status as television icons. Central to the narrative was the tantalizing will they or won't they dynamic between Dillon and Miss Kitty, adding a layer of intrigue and romance to the storyline. While Blake and Arness shared a palpable chemistry, the show's creators made a conscious decision to refrain from consummating their characters' relationship. James Arness himself reflected on this narrative choice, expressing his belief that pursuing a romantic storyline between Matt and Kitty would have fundamentally altered the nature of the show. He acknowledged that while the prospect of an on-screen love affair held appeal, it would inevitably lead to a shift in the character's dynamics and the overall tone of the series. Arness articulated this sentiment in an interview with MTV, stating, "I think they felt that you could only go so far with it, and then you'd have to change the character and nature of the show. If you have Matt and Kitty have an on-screen love affair, then, they'd have to get married, and then you'd have a different show there." Blake echoed the sentiment that a romantic relationship between her character, Kitty, and James Arness's character, Matt Dillon, wouldn't have been sustainable. She acknowledged that Kitty's attachment to Dodge stemmed from her connection with Matt, indicating that without him, she might have drifted away from the town. In real life, Blake and Arness maintained a strictly professional relationship, opting not to pursue a romantic entanglement off-screen. This decision mirrored their on-screen dynamic, preserving the authenticity of their portrayal of Matt and Kitty. Blake revealed in the same interview that she generally avoided dating in her personal life, preferring to focus on her career without the distraction of romantic relationships. Despite this, she was married 5 times before her passing in 1989, with 3 of her marriages overlapping with her tenure on Gunsmoke. Additionally, her co-star Dennis Weaver, who played Chester, became her close friend during their time on the show. On the other hand, James Arness was married to Virginia Chapman from 1948 to 1960 before tying the knot with Janet Surtees in 1978. The couple remained together until Arness's passing in 2011 at the age of 88 from natural causes. The decision by both Blake and Arness to keep their personal and professional lives separate likely contributed to the longevity and authenticity of their on-screen partnership, further solidifying their status as beloved television icons. In addition to James Arness, Amanda also had other close relationships on the set of Gunsmoke. It's her roommate. Jan Shepard was a familiar presence on television westerns, making appearances on popular shows like the Virginian Laramie Rawhide, and notably, Gunsmoke. Her stint on Gunsmoke marked a reunion of old friends, as Shepard and Amanda Blake had once shared living quarters as roommates. In a 2018 interview, Shepard fondly recalled their time together, describing Blake as a frisky lady who fully embraced her character even off-screen. Shepard reminisced about accompanying Blake to auditions for Gunsmoke, where Blake would dress in character, embodying the spirit of Miss Kitty. Shepard was present when Blake received the life-changing call informing her that she had landed the role of Miss Kitty, a moment that undoubtedly marked a significant milestone in Blake's career and solidified her place in television history. In the world of television, fan-driven campaigns have often been the driving force behind the success of shows. While it's common nowadays to see fans rallying to save their favorite series or bring them back from the brink of cancellation, back in the 50s and 60s, such influence from viewers was a rare occurrence. However, there's one iconic show that stands out as a prime example of how a passionate fan base could wield significant influence: Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke wasn't just a hit with viewers, it also captured the hearts of its audience in a way that few other shows of its time did. One of the most remarkable ways this was demonstrated was through the power of fan letters. These missives weren't just tokens of admiration, they held the potential to shape the direction of the show and impact the lives of its cast members. Take, for instance, actress Amanda Blake, known for her portrayal of the indomitable Miss Kitty, who found solace and renewed determination in the letters she received from fans. After leaving the series, Blake faced a challenging period in her career as she struggled to find her footing in Hollywood. However, a single fan letter changed everything. In the letter, a young girl expressed her admiration for Miss Kitty and ended with a heartfelt prayer for Blake's well-being. Touched by the genuine affection of her young fan, Blake found renewed strength to persevere through the tough times. It seemed like forever, but in the end, Gunsmoke's loyal audience also had to say goodbye to the legendary Miss Kitty after 19 years. Amanda Blake departed from Gunsmoke primarily due to her desire to pursue other opportunities and interests outside of the show. After nearly 2 decades of portraying Miss Kitty Russell, she felt it was time to move on and explore different career avenues. As Blake humorously remarked, 19 years is a hell of a long time to be stuck behind a bar. Her departure from Gunsmoke marked the end of an era. Following her departure from Gunsmoke after 19 illustrious years, Amanda Blake faced the daunting challenge of transitioning to new roles in Hollywood. Despite her undeniable talent and iconic status as Miss Kitty, finding work proved to be a formidable task. In a candid reflection on her departure from the series, Blake admitted to feeling fatigued and sensed that it was time to bid farewell to the role that had defined her career for nearly 2 decades. As she succinctly put it to the LA Times a decade later, it was the end of the trail. However, the transition to post-Gunsmoke life in Hollywood was not without its hurdles. Blake's aspirations for a thriving movie career in Tinseltown did not materialize as expected. Instead, she found herself grappling with the reality of limited opportunities in an industry that often struggled to see beyond her iconic portrayal of Miss Kitty. David R. Greenland's book, The Gunsmoke Chronicles: A New History of Television's Greatest Western, sheds light on Blake's post-Gunsmoke journey, revealing her hopes for a Hollywood movie career that failed to materialize. Despite her challenges, Blake persevered, taking on guest roles in television series such as Heart to Heart, Edge of Night, The Quest, and The Love Boat. Additionally, she secured minor roles in a handful of movies, albeit not to the extent she had envisioned. Additionally, there were reports of her health issues at the time, which may have also influenced her decision to leave the show. Anyway, Amanda Blake made a significant impact through her portrayal of Miss Kitty Russell on Gunsmoke. Her character challenged traditional gender roles, portraying a strong and independent woman in a male-dominated frontier setting. Blake's portrayal of Miss Kitty helped pave the way for more complex and empowered female characters on television. Intriguingly, despite her numerous relationships, Blake Edwards never had any children. This celebrated figure of Hollywood traversed a path sprinkled with love and companionship, yet devoid of the pitter-patter of little feet. Despite her entanglements in numerous relationships, the melody of children never graced her life symphony. In 1954, Blake Edwards embarked on the journey of marriage with Don Whitman, a venture that promised everlasting companionship. However, like a fleeting gust of wind, their union dissolved merely 2 years after its inception, leaving behind whispers of what could have been. Amidst the ebb and flow of romantic entanglements, Blake found solace in the unlikeliest of sanctuaries, the saloon set of Gunsmoke. Within the confines of this unexpected haven, she discovered a sense of belonging, a refuge from the tumultuous seas of fame and fortune. In 1984, the tides of fate ushered Blake Edwards into the arms of Mark Edward Spaeth, a beacon of hope amidst life's tempests. Their union, akin to a blossoming flower, exuded promises of everlasting bliss. Yet, fate's cruel hand intervened, snatching away Spaeth with the ravages of AIDS-related pneumonia in 1985. Whether retiring from Gunsmoke or saying goodbye to life at the age of 60, Amanda left an indelible mark in the hearts of television audiences. Do you think so? What do you find impressed most about Miss Kitty? Leave us your comment below. If you find this video fascinating, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next videos.